An hour ago, George Osborne, the Chancellor, described 2014 as the year of hard truths. He warned voters that only further austerity measures can pay for future tax cuts and better job prospects. Well, our economics editor Ed Conway was there at the speech, and he struck a rather different note from the Prime Minister yesterday on the economy. Are they kind of playing good cop, bad cop?
Well, very possibly, and there might also be a political explanation. I mean, the more you emphasise the fact that there are difficult decisions to be taken after the next election, that would potentially put the Labour Party in a difficult position, because it leaves them having to confirm whether they are going to stick to your spending plans or whether they're going to adopt different ones as well. So there's definitely some politicking going on here ahead of 2015. But there's also this reaffirmation that there is lots of difficult work to be done, and the Chancellor wants to, I suppose, make it clear that he is ready to take those decisions, even if the economy is recovering as it is at the moment. But a lot of people would look at that. They look at the fact that GDP is growing very strong at the moment. They'd ask why he is actually remaining quite so miserable economically. And that's indeed what I asked the Chancellor just a little bit earlier on. A lot of people will have listened to your speech today and asked themselves, why are you being quite so gloomy? The economy is recovering. We're seeing the strongest growth we have done since the start of the crisis, and it's better than in many other economies in the G7. I mean, when do you permit yourself a smile and to say that we are actually in a decent position? Next year, the year after, when's that happen?
Well, look, Britain is on the rise. Our economy is doing better. We're here at a great company that's just announced 400 more jobs it's going to be creating over the next 4 years. I just want to make sure that we don't squander what we've achieved and go back to square one, and that's the choice. We've got to go on making difficult decisions. We still have a big deficit that needs to come down. We've got to go on helping businesses create jobs. And I think if we abandon that plan now and say, you know what, we can go on borrowing, we can now start borrowing and spending, we can start taxing businesses more and going to war against business, then I think we'll be back to that square one. So yeah, I'm confident about the improvements you're seeing in the British economy, but I'm equally clear that we've got to plan in order to see those achievements delivered over the coming year.
So Ed, laser focused on deficit reduction still, but he thinks it can be done without further tax rises.
£25 billion worth of extra spending cuts or indeed tax rises are needed after the election. That's one of the new elements we've had today. You were kind of able to work that out, reading between the lines, looking at the budget documentation, but for the first time we've had confirmation that that's the big number after the election, in fact after 2015-16. It is a big number. We've also had another one from the Chancellor saying that he hopes £12 billion worth of that will come from welfare cuts, so cuts in welfare spending. And indeed, there have already been big cuts to the welfare bill. So I think that's likely to cause a bit of political argument, given that many people believe that already those who are on welfare, for instance on housing allowance, one of the things the Chancellor talked about, are already facing the squeeze in an enormous way at the moment. They will have to take more pain, while pensioners, as the Prime Minister was talking about just yesterday, will enjoy the triple lock and will be able to get higher pensions in the future as a result of that. So there's a question of where the money is going to go to after the next election and who is going to suffer the most.
Yeah, OK, Ed, thanks for describing all that for us. Ed Conway there, listening, as we say, to the Chancellor's speech in Birmingham. Well, let's see how businesses are taking it.